So we're on Gimel Amud Beis on the bottom. Just before we start, Chaim David reminded me about Chamsan and Tveria on the page before on Beis Amud Beis. Over there it said that a mil is the distance between Chamsan and Tveria. So I asked my Chavrusa, he's also a tour guide, very successful, Baruch Hashem, and he said that they do know where this place Chamsan is. It's in the Torah it's called Hamas. Not the Lavo Hamas that talks about up north, that's something else, but there's a place Hamas which is south of Tveria. So he said that, thank you. Pleasure. He said old Tveria is an archaeological site nowadays. It's south of what's Tveria today. And what they call the old city of Hamas is also more of an archaeological site that would be under the kever of Amir Balanes. And they say there's a shul over there that's called the Beit Knesset of Hamas. And that would be, they say that it's exactly a mill, more or less what a mill would be telling. So that's the old Tveria, the old city of Tveria, the old city, and the old Hamas that they said is by the shul of Amir Balanes. And it comes out as a mill. Okay, so we're on the bottom of the Gimel Amud Beis, the last two words, Vamar Bishul Ben Levi. And it continues on to Daled Amud Aleph. Amar Bishul Ben Levi, Lod, Va'ono, V'geach HaRashim, 3 cities in Binyamin. These three cities, you should know that they're walled since the days of Yeshua ben Nun. Just to point out that these 3 cities, Mamish, are pasuk in Nehemiah. In Nehemiah, Perek Yud Aleph, pasuk Lamed Hey. Over there, it's talking about also the cities of Binyamin, and it mentions these 3 cities, Mamish, Lod, Va'ono, V'geach HaRashim. The Gemara doesn't mention that pasuk over there, but it is interesting that they're all together 3 in a pasuk. So, what is the chiddush that they're considered walled cities from the days of Yeshua? What does that mean? So Rashi says that the reason why he had to point them out is because they look pretty new. The walls look pretty new, and you would be surprised that they're so old from Yeshua ben Nun. So he had to point out that that they indeed are from the days of Yeshua ben Nun, as the Gemara is going to say that it's not the original walls. But simpler than Rashi, Machavus was pointing out, simpler than Rashi, the Gemara itself says why is a chiddush? Because right away the Gemara is going to ask that the pasuk says that it was not Yeshua that built it, but it was built later. That's the reason why he considered it a chiddush to say that no, these 3 cities are from Yeshua ben Nun. The Mars the Kasha, Bahani Yeshua Banani, Baal Pal Banani. Yeshua is the one who built it. El Pal is the one who built it. So El Pal is a pasuk in Divrei Hayamim, as the Gemara brings down. Techsebu b'nei El Pal Eber Misham v'Shemer. It should be v'Shemed. It's a mistake. It should be v'Shemed with the Dalet. Hu bana esono v'Slod u'Benoseh. He built the cities of Ono and the cities of Lod. So 2 out of the 3 cities, Lod, Va'ono, V'geach HaRashim, the Gemara has a kasha that 2 of the cities, Lod and Ono, both of them, El Pal, the Bnei El Pal built it, the sons of Binyamin. So this is after Yeshua came into Eretz Yisrael, obviously, even though in the Divrei Hayamim you don't see how many generations it is. It seems to be just a few generations from Binyamin, but from the context we can tell that it was after Yeshua. That Yeshua is the one who came into Eretz Yisrael, the first of Am Yisrael came into Eretz Yisrael as times of Yeshua. And if it says that the Shevet Binyamin built it, that seems that was later than Yeshua. That's the Mor's Kasha. How could you say that Yeshua built it? It's Mekofas Chomer since the days of Yeshua ben Nun. It seems that El Pal is the one who built it, as it says in the Divrei Hayamim.
Who is El Pal?
El Pal is from look in the Divrei Hayamim over there, you'll see that he's from the Shevet of Binyamin, and that's descendants of Binyamin. And it says over there, he's the one who built Ono and Lod. So Yeshua, at the times of Yeshua, was not yet built up. Only generations later, and El Pal built it up. That's the Gemara's kasha. Now, the way I'll read our Gemara, but there are many kashas on the way our Gemara says it. And there's a very nice pshat that comes out from Rabbeinu Hananel that I'll say afterwards. But let's read the Gemara straight without any changes.
Maybe it was both and then it destroyed and he rebuilt it.
What?
It was both and destroyed and
that's what the Gemara is going to say. The Gemara is going to even prove it and say that it has to be that way. Ultamech. The Gemara says Ultamech. The different gears over here. Asa Banani. How could you say that El Pal built it? Even you say that El Pal built it and Ben Yeshua didn't build it. There's another kasha even on you because it says that Asa was the king of Yehuda. Asa, Ma'amelech Asa. Techseh Vayiven doesn't say these words over there. It doesn't say Vayiven Asa Sarei Mitzvah. It says Vayiven Arei Mitzvah, but it's talking about Asa over there. If you look at the pasuk, it says Vayiven Arei Mitzvah Yehuda, and it's talking about Asa. And he built fortified cities. And the Gemara seems to see in that pasuk somehow that he's the one who built Lod and Ono. Kash, what does the Gemara see? How do you see anything? It doesn't say anything about Lod and Ono. It just says he built fortified cities. Also, it talks about Yehuda. It doesn't even talk about Binyamin. Big problem. But anyway, the Gemara says, Amr Abu Lazar, Hani Mukafos, Chomam and Yosef Yeshua ben Nun Havu, that they were originally, yes, walled in the days of Yeshua already. And then Charbi Mepilegish Begiva, they became destroyed during the war by the concubine of Begiva and Shefa Benyamin. So those walls became destroyed. Vasa El Pal Benani, and then El Pal afterwards built it up, like it says in Divrei Hayamim. Hadur Inpol, then it fell again for some reason. Asa Shabtzinu, and then Asa came and he's the one who renovated it. Here's the word Shiputzim. Anybody that says Shiputzim, it's not a common word. Where do you find that word any place? Here's one place, Rashi means another place in Yevamos where it comes from. So that's where the word today comes, Shiputzim.
Yeah.
Shiputzim, right? Now it's a common word, but it's not a common word at all.
Where is Shiputzim? Right?
Dekanami, Shabtzinu, how are you going to say Dekanami? And you can also speak like that, the Siva Yamali Huda, Nivna Sarim Ma'ila, by Asa, over there when it says that he built 45 cities in Yehuda, it says he told Yehuda, let us build these cities. He says, let us build these cities. If it says, let us build these cities, it sounds like it's a city already. It sounds like it already was a city. So he means to rebuild the city. It doesn't mean to build it from scratch. Then he wouldn't say, let us build the cities. Let us build, and they'll become cities. The fact that it says, let us build the cities, it sounds like it was already a city, and he just did Shiputzim. Shmamina, that's the end of the Gemara. So the way we read the Gemara, it reads, but the difficulty is very hard, that what does the Gemara see in the pasuk that the Asa built it? It says, Asa built 45 cities in Yehuda. What does it have to do? First of all, what does it have to do with Binyamin? Rashi points out that problem. And also, even if it says it was Binyamin, does it say anything about Lod and Ono? Does it say about those particular cities? Doesn't say anything. It doesn't say anything about those particular cities. How does the Gemara know that it means Dafka these cities, that the Gemara has to ask a kasha out of it? Really tamua, very, very difficult. So it seems that there's an issue in the Girsos over here. They seem to have a different Gemara, and it seems that the Gemara that we have is a collection of the different Girsos that got together and also got misplaced. It seems that the Gemara is not coming to say that there were three stages. There was first Yoshua, and then Alpal, and then Asa. Because, as we said, there's no connection between Asa and Alpal, nothing to do with Lod and Ono. The one is Yehuda, one is Binyamin. But the Gemara is just bringing another source to show how there was the cities already, and then later on it got renovated. And even though it says two times that it was built, it's not a contradiction. It means when the Gemara is the kasha, you have to skip a little bit. This thing of Ul Tamech, this we can skip all of this. These two lines, I'm sorry, Ul Tamech until the end of the parentheses. The kasha was in the beginning that Yeshua ben Levi said, Lo no o Nager Harashim was from Yeshua ben Nun. The kasha is Alpal built it. The answer is Amr Abu Lazar that it was from Yeshua ben Nun, and then later on Alpal rebuilt it. And the Gemara says Dekanami, not that it was three levels of this, three points of the same city. Dekanami, because you find such a thing also by Asa, that he says that he built Orim Mitzur Yehuda, and over there it says this point that it was already cities. So the same way that by Asa, you must say that it was originally built and he rebuilt it. So too, by Opal, it was originally built and he rebuilt it again. Not that the Gemara is, let's try to see the Ben Hanan over here. Here is the Ben Hanan on the side. Lo Dvono V'Geach HaVashim, V'Kafas Choma V'Klomar, Taikina V'Tachsiv, V'Yiven Asa, Es Kal Orim V'Sura Sasher V'Yehuda, V'Chikal Orim Asa V'Vana V'Lo B'Nu Yasayu, and L'Shabtzinu. By Asa, Kachi Shloma, Alpal Shabtzinu. That's all. Not that it's the same cities that was first Yeshua and then Alpal and then Asa. That what does it mean? That what it means, just like you find by Asa, there were cities that were already built and he redid them. So too, even though it says that Alpal is the one who built Lod V'Ono, that doesn't mean that he's the one who built it for the first time. It was already built by Yeshua, but he's the one who rebuilt it. So I think that's a very beautiful ha'ara that saves a lot of confusion in the Gemara. So this doesn't have much. It doesn't have.
No, you change the Gerson.
Change the Gersos, and it explains how come there's no problem with Yehuda and Binyamin, nothing to do with the city. You don't see that this pasuk means anything about Lod V'Ono. So these places exactly it does talking about these particular places. So it doesn't affect us nowadays. Only if you know where Lod or Ono or Geach HaRashim. So they do talk about in general nowadays. The only place that people know that's considered Mukaf Chomam and Moshe Yeshua ben Nun is Yerushalayim. And people think that's something to do with Yerushalayim. It's nothing to do with Yerushalayim. It has to do with the fact that it was Mukaf Chomam and Moshe Yeshua ben Nun. And if the other cities like that also would be so. And they talk about it. They talk about there should be other cities also in Eretz Yisrael that should read on the Tesvav because they are walled cities since the days of Yeshua ben Nun. So some of them say that even though they might be in the area, but since it's not the original city, the old city. It means the old place you have to find the old city.
It says
You
some
see, it's
no?
right? So, but they say maybe it's only some panera to a city which is reading on the 15th. But if nobody's living over there, so then it doesn't give off to this environment. The summer panera only can read on the 15th if the city itself is reading on the 15th.
So one second. So when before people came back to the old city,
right? So
the rest of Yerushalayim would not read on the 15th. Right.
And even some say that if the real old city is the Ir David, until it was a Jewish settlement, until people are living there already. But then maybe they shouldn't have read on the 15th because no one was living in the original old city. So that's a point that people talk about nowadays. Okay, that's the end of that sugya. Next Gemara, very short. Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Just to point out that Yeshua ben Levi is a big man on this whole daf. Come out, every member is from him. Also in the past Talmud, we had a couple, about 3 at the end of the daf over there, all from Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Nashim chayavos b'mikra megillah she'afinoi bosanesh. That's the whole sugya. End of the sugya. That Nashim also chayiv in megillah, even though it's a mitzvah saseh as mangroma. Usually Nashim are part even by Rabbanan. But here the reason is afinoi bosanesh. They also were in the miracle. So here's machlokes to Rishonim. Most Rishonim say that it means they also were in the Gzera of Lashman Lar Galabi, just like every top of Nashim, everybody was in the Gzera. They also. Taisus brings down here, Rashbam says that it means that they were the main characters. Esther was the main player in the miracle, but Taisus doesn't like it because it says Af. Af Hey No, it means they also. It doesn't sound like they were the main character players. It means that they were also. So they learned because they were also in the miracle of Purim, so they were also Chayiv Rabbanan. The whole din of Purim is Rabbanan. Chanukah also, they also they're chayiv in their Chanukah for the same reason. Taisus says it's only as far to be mechayiv them on a Rabbanan level, not at the Raisa level. Talks about by matzah, they're only chayiv because of other reasons. That's the whole sugya, 2-line sugya. Noshim machayiv and mikra megillah. Next sugya. Ram Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Purim shechol liyos b'Shabbos. Purim comes out on Shabbos, and as we know, we learned already in the Mishnah that you don't read the Megillah on Shabbos. But Sholem v'Darshin b'Yano Shel Yom. You're supposed to learn about the Purim on that Shabbos. It's interesting, this halacha is not quoted in Shulchan Aruch for some reason, but there's no reason not to paskin like it. It's surely the halacha that a Purim comes out on Shabbos, and you can't read the Megillah, but you do speak about it. There's a mitzvah to speak about Purim, to learn about it, to ask, to darshan about Purim. Rashi says the Geras Purim, Rashi sounds like the Megillah Sester, the darshan the Megillah Sester. Maybe it means all kinds of halachas.
To write like the Gra, the only by Pesach is a mitzvah of Shloshim Yom Lifnei.
Let's see the next Gemara. Why are you saying Purim? Every Yom Tov you're supposed to learn about the Yom Tov on the Yom Tov. The Tanya, Moshe Tiklam Yisrael Shiyushalom Dash B'Yino Shal Yom, Hilchos Pesach B'Pesach, Hilchos Tetzeres B'Tetzeres, Hilchos Chag B'Chag. That you're supposed to. Moshe already made it the kind to learn about each Chag on its day.
Before.
No. So that doesn't say it. That's not the point. There is such a Gemara. It talks about another lach to learn 30 days before, 2 weeks before, whatever that may be. Different again. But it's talking about Moshe's takana was to learn about the Chag on the Chag. Hilchos Pesach, B'Pesach, Hilchos Atzeres B'Atzeres, Hilchos Chag B'Chag. And the Gemara says that it goes without saying that Hilchos Purim and also no difference. So how come you're saying Purim? All the Yom Tov are like that. The Gemara says you're right, but Purim is Shvichle, but there's a Chiddush over here, even Purim. You might think that there's a Gzera of the Rabbah. What does that mean? The whole reason that you don't, whatever reason you don't read the Megillah Sester on Purim, why don't you read the Megillah on Shabbos? I'm sorry. Why? The Gemara is going to say because Gzera of the Rabbah, you might carry the Megillah by mistake. So you might think so. Don't darshan about the Megillah either because for the same reason you might carry the Megillah in the street. Kamashman, there's no Gzera, and you are supposed to be Dorish B'Yano Shel Purim with Purim. Rashi Taisus says that the reason why the Gemara talks about Shabbos is like the Gemara says for this Chiddush. On the weekday, it could be that you don't have to daf kedarshan because you're reading the Megillah. There's a Taisus over here. Let's jump to the Taisus for a second. Purim shechol yos b'Shabbos, dafka b'Shabbos, because you don't read the Megillah, because Gzera de Rabbah, but b'chol ein sarach sharei Torah no Megillah. So, and that's even better. Tveika presume benisa. So the Gemara speaks out the issue that the Chiddush is even Shabbos. Taisus says that it's also Dafka Shabbos because otherwise you don't have the problem of you also with the Megillah alone. But there's something very interesting that someone pointed out, Machapusa pointed out. Are you supposed to learn about Hilchos Chanukah b'Chanukah?
Why would you not?
Are you supposed to? Is it halacha that the Gemara says? Of course, everybody likes to talk about Chanukah and bring all the Mesibas Chanukah together with this Sivkana Yod. Someone says something about Chanukah, but it could be that this Mamash Moshe Tikkanam Yisrael. It could be the Gemara here takes it for granted. Like what's the Chiddush? Of course, you have to talk about Purim. Moshe said and Pesach and Shavuos and Sukkot, so Purim also. And they wanted to find the Chiddush. Purim is Strichale, and Taisus is going to say that maybe the Megillah Sester is good enough. But on Hanukkah there is no megillah. There's no megillah Santiago that you have to read. So it could be that it's mamish min adin. It's supposed to learn Hilchos Chanukah b'Chanukah. Mamish in
Or
Gemara.
they don't say
Sholin v'darshin b'nyana. What are you going to say? This Gemara. Sholin v'darshin b'nyana shel yom. Hilchos Pesach b'Pesach. Hilchos Atzeres b'Atzeres. Hilchos Chanukah b'Chag b'Chag. And the Gemara says, goes without saying that Purim also there's no difference about.
No, I'm not arguing.
No, so it's mamish beautiful, no?
Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm just saying.
That's a Gemara. That's not how Hilchos Chanukah. It says inyana shel yom. So the Gemara says that if it says Pesach Shavuos, so it means Purim also, and no reason why it should be Purim not Chanukah, it means Chanukah also. And the Gemara says Purim Zechiddish comes out on Shabbos. You might think it might carry. Kamash Malan that you're not choshish for that. And Tosha says that in the weekday you'll say with reading the Megillah also.
I want to hear
It says halacha. It doesn't say you're going to read.
What?
It says halachas on Shabbos Purim. You're not going to read.
I understand. That's what it says.
There's no
Sholin. Everyone knows the Gemara says Sholin v'darshin b'Pesach, the Shavuos b'Sukkos, but no one knows there's such a Gemara that says also Sholin v'darshin b'Nyana shel Chanukah b'Chanukah. So I'm saying that the Gemara does say so. It's right here. The Gemara talks about Purim, and the Chor is no difference Purim and Chanukah, and the Gemara that says that Purim's a chiddush because Purim that comes out on Shabbos you might think don't because you might carry by mistake. But the Chor is a very Gemara. They're supposed to talk about Sholin v'darshin b'Nyana shel Chanukah.
Another thing, correct me if I'm wrong. Let's say someone finished all the halachas before Shavuos. He finished all the Shavuos. You still have to on Shavuos itself.
Yes. It's not because you should know the halachas. It says that's the takana to learn in Yana Shel Yom B'Yom. Okay, next Gemara. You have to read the Megillah at night and then l'shnosa b'yom. The Gemara is going to talk about what the shnosa means. We'll say what it means, but the Gemara itself had a question what the word l'shanosa means. Shenema Elokai Ekru Yomam V'lo Saneh V'layla V'lo Dumi Ali. My God, I call in the daytime and you don't answer, and at night it's not quiet to me. It means I don't stop talking. I don't stop crying out to you. Rashi points out this is in Mizrah 22, which is Keli Lama Zaftani, which the Gemara dashes about Esther. So about the issue of the Megillah says there. So you're supposed to read it at night and Lishnosa B'Yom. What does it mean Lishnosa? Some of me know the Mikari Balayla or the Muslim Masisli Davi Mama. The Gemara thought that it means you're supposed to read it at night and learn the Mishnayos. Learn Mishnayos Megillah. Learn Hilchos Megillah in the daytime. That's what Lishnosa means to learn. Amalahu Rav Yirmiyah told him doesn't mean that you're making a mistake. That's not what Lishnosa means. I was explicitly explained to me from Abchia Bar Abba, just to point out, we had a day ago a whole list of things of Yirmiyah, V'Teimu Abchia Bar Abba. Just to say up here that he was his Rebbe. Abchia Bar Abba was the Rebbe of Yirmiyah. Rabbi Yirmiyah said, I heard Beferish from Abchia Bar Abba. Sounds a little bit like he was his Rebbe. But we did have many members that had some confusion who was the Baal HaMemra. But anyway, Abchia Bar Abba said, going down Yinshi, it's the way people talk. I'm going to learn this Parsha and repeat it. So the word Lishanosa doesn't mean to learn it. It means to repeat it. So back to the Memra, when it said it's supposed to read the Megillah at night and Lishnosa B'Yom, it means to repeat it in the day. It doesn't mean to learn the Mishnayos. It means to repeat it. It's supposed to read the Megillah 2 times. It means without the Shub and Lev, you wouldn't have known that you have to read the Megillah 2 times. You would have thought read it 1 time.
Why didn't you just say Chayvan Mekris Megillah B'Yom V'Layla?
That's what it meant. I mean, he could have said it differently, but he says that he explains that it means he's supposed to repeat it in the day. He could have said it differently. I don't see that. He didn't realize people are going to make a mistake. So he's supposed to repeat it. Maybe when you're stressing, why does he say the word repeat? Why does he have to say the word repeat?
Maybe it's a different type of reading. Maybe the night is slower and the day quicker.
Why is it called repeating here? Okay, but that's what he meant to say.
Is that the word Ignayu?
What?
Ignaya.
And yes, that means that I'll repeat it. I'll read this parsha and I'll learn it a second time and I'll repeat it.
Why is it Naya repeat?
That's what the word means in Aramaic. When you want to say Lashnosa, here also Lashnosa means to repeat. Lashon Sheni, Tinyana, same word as Tinyana. So it comes out you're supposed to read the Megillah twice. Even though you wouldn't have known that from the Mishnayos alone, it seems you wouldn't have known that. And just to point out that later on in the Chaf, the Gemara is havamina to disprove this statement that you have to read the Megillah twice, because over there it says that the Zman Rikum Megillah is from Netzach Hama. Over there it says Ein Karnas Megillah Ella Achetana Hama.
Maybe I learn it at night and morning.
What?
Night and also morning.
Yes, but the Gemara over there, I thought that it says over there you only read it in the daytime. The Gemara says it's talking about the daytime Megillah over there.
And you're supposed to read it twice in the daytime?
No, I didn't say that. The Gemara says it's good. It's good. Our Gemara says you're supposed to read the Megillah twice, once at night, once in the day. There's a really appel how the Gemara thought that it means read it at night and learn the Mishnayos in the day, because the Mishnah later on the Chav says beferish that you have to read the Megillah after nights, after sunrise. So it's beferish you have to read it in the daytime. Tais also points out that even after the Gemara says you have to read it twice, the Iker Kriya is the daytime and the night is the Chiddush. The Chiddush is even at night, but you surely have to read it in the daytime, and that's why the Ashkenazim they say Shechianu in the daytime, even though they say Shechianu at night, because the Iker Kriya is the daytime. The Sfarad and the whole like that, they say Shechianu only at night.
I just have a question. Why don't we say Pesach God in the morning as well?
I don't know what the Imkvar is, but there's a Russia to say. But there says when you have mitzvah of matzah, but the pasuk says over there, "Be'ev tochel matzah" says when it's supposed to.
In the morning, what's the matzah?
It was the morning. The morning after the Yitzias Mitzrayim, the Gula was at night. That's when Makas Bechoros was. But to do with the subject, but here the Chiddush is you have to read it twice.
I'll just tell what we're going
I'm trying to understand the tiva of Purim that requires two times. So
Okay,
I'm trying to
but it's
understand it
okay,
in
but-
relation to other things.
regarding what you're saying, what Chaim David's saying, by to do it the day, maybe you'd be learning Hilchas Pesach. The Pesach, you learn the Haggadah during the day.
Yes, the din have to learn, but it's nothing about the mitzvah of
Right,
Sukkot
just
Yisrael.
saying,
There's a din of the whole Pesach is supposed to Hilchos Pesach, Pesach Shavuos, Shavuos. So the whole Chag is supposed to learn halachas. But here we're not talking about halachas. We're talking about the Mikra Megillah. After the Gemara comes out, there's a mistake that they thought that it means Mishnayos. It means the Mikra Megillah, and the Gemara is coming to say that you have to read it even at night. But that's according to the Mishnayos. The Mishnah says very later on you have to read the Megillah in the daytime. The Chiddush of Rabbi Shmuel lady was not to read it in the daytime. His Chiddush was you have to read it even at night. And he brings the pasuk, and the Gemara brings the pasuk at the end. Different pasuk. Here it says Elokai in Mizmor 22 about Keli Lamas Avtani. I call it night and day, and at night I'm not quiet at night. So it means even in the night, and you have to read the Megillah also at night. And now the Gemara says another pasuk for the same thing. Itmar Nami Amr Abichel Bama Ula Bira Chay Vadam Likwas as a Megillah Balayla Shlosa B'Yom. The same words as I said before. To read it at night in the day. Shenema the man is Amechach Avod V'Loidom. That brings down that this pasuk of Mizmor Shechanukos Abayis is also about the story of Purim, and over there it says that the kavod, the neshama, and the quiet, and the fact that it says and again, Tosfos points out that maybe the Ikar is in the daytime, that's the mission later on, and therefore, even if you said a Shachianu at night, the Ashkenazim say Shachianu again in the daytime.
I mean, the Ikar is the day.
That's what,
we're saying.
yes, right.
That's why you say Shechianu in the
That's
day.
what Tosfos says. 3 lines from the bottom. That even so, the Mishnah says about all the days that you read the Megillah, the 14th and the 15th. The walled cities on the 15th, the unwalled cities on the 14th, and the Kfar, the small villages, they proceed to the previous Monday and Thursday. This Levi Yaakov asked a couple of days ago, and here we finally got up to it. The Gemara mentioned this on the Beis Amalek right away, the first sugya, but here we got to the sugya. The Chachamim were lenient on the villages that they could proceed on the previous day of entrance, Yom HaKnisa, which means Monday and Thursday. The words here say Kedei. Kedei means in order that they should supply water and food to their brothers in the big cities, which the simple words seem to say that we want that cities should have suppliers for food and water on the Purim, on the 14th. And the ones who supply them are the nearby villages. They bring their goods and they sell it when they come in. So if they're going to have to also read the Megillah, they're going to be busy. So in order to give them time, that they should be able to be selling their provisions, the food and water. So we tell them they can read the Megillah earlier. That's what the Gemara seems to say. Big chiddush, huge chiddush.
Are they free? Are they free?
You want to make them free.
Obligations
Why are they free? Because they already did it. Because they read the Megillah earlier. So let's say Megillah, let's say Purim came out on a Tuesday. So they're going to come in on the Monday and read the Megillah on Monday already. And then they'll come on Tuesday again on the day of Purim in order, and then they'll be able to bring the Maimon Muslim. If they're going to have to come on Tuesday to bring to read the Megillah, they're not going to have too much time, or they'll be busy really, 45 minutes less, whatever, half hour, 45 minutes less to read the Megillah. And therefore, we made this consideration in order that they should be free, in order for our benefit, in the big city benefit, that we should have people that are coming in, the suppliers should be able to come in. So we organized that they should be able to read the Megillah earlier. That's what the Gemara seems like it says.
Why don't say yayin also?
Okay, I don't know. The Gemara continues on the Amud Beis. Is that so? It means it comes out the reason why we permitted them to read earlier is for our benefit, the benefit of the big city. The main the takanta the Kwachanavi is that you mean to say that the purpose of the takana was for the benefit of the big city. But Tanan, Chalios B'Sheni, Kvarmayos Gedolos, Koran Bobiyam. The Gemara is going to ask questions. What if it comes out on Monday and Thursday? The 14th came out on Monday and Thursday. So if the purpose is they should be free, so also you should have always let them to read the Megillah earlier. If it came out on Monday, so what's the halacha? They have to read it on Monday. No, they should have read it the Thursday earlier. If you're going to say the purpose is they should be free, they should. We want to free them up from reading the Megillah on Purim, in order they should be able to be free to supply us. So even if it came out on Monday, we should have let them read the Megillah on the previous Thursday.
That's 5 days.
Yes. But that's the most kasha. If the purpose is, then why has a good kasha that if the purpose is for our benefit, so we shouldn't make a difference if it came out on Yom HaKnisa or not. We should always give them the day before earlier. If it's true that the reason is only for our benefit, for the benefit of the big city, like the Muli Yom HaKnisa, they also should do it the day before, the Yom HaKnisa before, which is Thursday. So Chaim David answered, Hevelu Asar, it's going to come out to be the 10th of Adar, Vasar Lo T'kinu Rabbanan, and there's no such remes for that. So based on the Gemara and the Beis Amud Aleph, over there the Gemara says that we're only going to do it if the Megillah itself allows, because Jan Shekinah Gedola, Ein Bezdin Yachal Avat Liber Bezdin Chaveru Elam Ken Gadol Memenu B'Chachma V'Minyan. So if there's no remes that there's a permission to do it so early, we're not going to do it. If there was permission till the 11th, we'll do it as much as we can, and over there we found permission in the Megillah. So the Gemara still is holding on to the reason. The reason is really for our benefit, the benefit of the big cities, but we can't be lenient more than the 11th. You can't do it the 10th. The Gemara is conscious still, but how about it comes out on Thursday? Let them read on Monday. Tashma, that if it comes out on Thursday, they don't get any leniency, and they're supposed to read it on the right day of Purim, on Thursday. If the purpose is they should be freed up on Purim, they should read it on the previous Monday, which is only 2 days earlier. 3 days early, should be the 11th also, right? Is that true? If it comes out on Thursday, the 14th, so Wednesday, what?
Monday would qualify.
Well, it will still be the Yom HaKnisa. The Gemara says that's 11th. Yom HaKnisa, as the Moyen says also, this is also not a kasha, which I don't understand the answer. Yom HaKnisa lo dachinam. We don't push it off from a Monday to from a Thursday to a Monday. From Yom HaKnisa to Yom HaKnisa, we don't. Why? I don't understand what the Gemara's answer is.
Say kacha.
Okay, I don't understand. I don't know what the Gemara's answer is. But the Gemara still didn't slug it up. The Gemara still thinks that it's still standing reason. The reason why we allowed them to read earlier is for our benefit, that the villagers should be free to supply us in the big city on Purim. But now the Gemara is going to disprove it. Tashma. Rabbi Yehuda says in the Mishnah coming up, this whole leniency is if anyway they come in on Mondays and Thursdays. So then we say you're coming in anyway, so read the Megillah when you come in. If anyway they don't come in on Mondays and Thursdays, then there's no leniency to read earlier. And they only can read it on the proper day, on the 14th. But if the purpose is that we should have the benefit that they should be free in order to supply us, so then it doesn't make sense. Why is that a reason that they shouldn't read earlier? If the purpose is for the benefit of the big cities, because they don't come in anyway on Mondays and Thursdays, we're going to make the big cities lose out. What's the difference? The whole purpose is for the big city that they should have people supplying them. So we should let them read it earlier. So therefore, the Gemara realizes that this was not the true shot. Lo tema kadesh yisapku. It was the wrong version. When we said kadesh yisapku, that was a mistake. The reason why we said that they could read on the previous Mondays and Thursdays is not in order that they should supply the big city. Lo ketema kadesh yisapku ma'ima mazan alema mipnei. We're changing that word from kadei to mipnei. Mipnei shemisapkin ma'ima mazan lachem shebekwacham, because they supply. So what does that mean? So Rashi says, very chiddush pshat. Rashi says that we have gratitude to them because they supply us, and therefore we're going to have a leniency. They shouldn't have to come in an extra day. They're coming in anyway Mondays and Thursdays, and they're so good to us that they supply us with all our needs. Not after with Purim. Stam, they supply us. Whenever they come, they supply us. So we don't want them to have to come an extra day. So if they're coming in anyway Mondays and Thursdays, so we're not going to matriach them to come in again on Tuesday or Wednesday to read the Megillah. Once they're coming in anyway, so we allow them. There seems to be a big chiddush. Just we have gratitude to a lot of people. What does that have to do with changing the laws of the Megillah? Because we have gratitude to them because they supply us. The Rashba argues on this Rashi, and he says, then what does it mean to say a reason? The Gemara means to say the reason is because we're not matriach them, not because they were doing them any favors, not because we're paying them the gratitude. It just says with nation masapkin. That's the reason they're saying how come they're coming in. The reason they come in Mondays and Thursdays is because it's market day. Because they're coming in anyway. That's all. It doesn't mean to say because we want to give them a reward. Because they're coming in anyway. If they come in for different reason, also we would have said because they come into Kriyas Torah, whatever the case is, they come in Mondays and Thursdays. They come in it. The courts are open on Mondays and Thursdays. Whatever the case would have been, because they're coming in Mondays and Thursdays. And what happens to say because that's when they come to supply us. But that's not the point. The point is that they're coming in anyway. Since they're coming in anyway, so we want Mashriach them to come as the Megillah. Actually, and they already get. Yeah, they don't have to come in on the 4th. If they're coming in anyway, 11, 12, 13, then the Megillah, the Anshe Knesset Gedolah gave permission to read, so they can read it earlier.
And come back.
Then they don't have to come back again.
Right.
They don't have to come back again.
Why is it a kasha?
Why is what a kasha?
Why we think otherwise? It's the whole thing is that they're coming in from far. They're coming in to do the mitzvah of supplying the
Nothing to do with mitzvah. They're coming for business. So they come in every Mondays, Thursdays. That's their business day. I'm not sure.
So then let them read. So it's not a simple journey.
But that's not a reason why you could be change the days of the Megillah. The Gemara starts off at the beginning of the Masechta that the Megillah itself gave permission to read the Megillah earlier without any reasons who, what, when. It just says you can sometimes read the Megillah on the 13th, 12th, and 11th. And the Gemara, the Rabbanan, the later generations, they said we're going to give this leniency to those villages that are coming in earlier anyway, so that they should have to come a special time. Well, those are the ones that we're going to let to read earlier.
I actually think it's fair. I think it makes sense because there's a tircha coming in. They're coming in. It could be a long journey. It could be it's a 5 hours journey to come with this stuff. So now they're in the gather of 11th to the 15th. Let them read the Megillah because it's kosher reading.
Okay, good.
And then you have to go back and
that's what the Gemara says.
And then the
good.
family, and then they still have to make their own family suda.
Okay, good. The Gemara continues. So the Gemara first says the Mishnah says that the age you read the Megillah besides the 15 and 14 is also 13, 12, 11. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, that's the Mishnah. And then when the Mishnah goes to explain Ketzad, so it then starts from Monday. And it says Ketzad. If it falls out on Monday, if it falls out on Tuesday, if it falls out on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Shabbos, Sunday, that's the order of the Mishnahs. The Mishnah first starts talking about the days of the month, and it says that the days of the month that you're allowed to read it is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then when it starts explaining Ketzad, then it goes with the days of the week. The order that the Mishnah shows is the days of the week, and it starts with a Monday, and it goes until Sunday. So the Morris the Kasha, Maishna Reisha did not consider the Yacha, or Maishna Sefer did not consider the Yomi. How come the first part of the Mishnah, it shows the order of the months, and it goes the days of the month, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then the Sefer one, it explains it doesn't go in that order anymore. Then it starts talking about the order of the days of the week. The Gemara says,
explain it.
You could have explained it the other way, but then it would have been complicated. The Gemara says, I did the Misapchile not consider the Yomi because it gets confused. The Misapchile gets changed around. That if it's not going to be in the order, when you start with Monday is the case where they read on the right day, and then on the 14th, and then Tuesday and Wednesday is going to be a day where if you're going to organize it according to 11, 12, 13, the first day is not going to be Sunday, but then you're going to have to find the case of doing 12. It's not going to be in a particular order. So if you're going to have to remember, in order to remember the Mishnayos, it's going to be difficult to remember. Here, you go according to the days of the week, and as you're learning the Mishnayos, you can figure out what day of the month is going to come out. Cholios Be'erev Shabbos. So the Mishnah spoke about if the 14th comes
on. See for the naked.
See which word?
The word the Reisha the naked Sidur.
Ma'ishna Reisha the naked Sidur the Yarcha, or Ma'ishna Sefer the naked Sidur the Yomei.
What's the naked?
Which word?
Naked.
Naked. That it holds on to Achaz. That it chaps on. How come it chapped on over here the order of the month, and here it caught on to the order of the days of the week? And the Ryan says because it's going to be not in order if you go according to the days of the month. When you start explaining how it comes out, how it plays out. The next Mishnah, Cholios Be'erev Shabbos. The Mishnah spoke about if the 14th comes out on Erev Shabbos. What do you do if the 14th comes on Erev Shabbos? Here's what the Mishnah spoke about, that the 15th doesn't read on Shabbos. And that was, let's go back to the Mishnah a second. The Mishnah said, if it comes out on the 14th on Erev Shabbos, so let's have to find a place in the Mishnah. So it says that villages, they read on Thursday, like always. It's the day before. Since it came out on the 14th came out on Friday, so they read on Thursday. And walled cities together with the unwalled cities, they read on the 14th. So the Mishnah holds that the Chiddush is that you can't read the Megillah on Shabbos. That's where the Mishnah tells us over here that when it comes out on the 14th, so that means that the 15th comes out on Shabbos, so they can't read on Shabbos. So they read also the day before, they read on Friday. And the Gemara is going to bring down that there's an issue about all this. And what does the Mishnah say? That unwalled cities, they stay on the right day. The 14th on a Friday. What's the problem? So they stay on the 14th. But the Gemara is going to say that there are other opinions about this case, and our Mishnah is not everybody. So the Gemara starts, Masisa Mani, E Rebbe Yossi. Our Mishnah could either be Rebbe or it could be Rabbi Yossi, but it can't be their counterparts. It means we're going to find the brisa where Rebbe is arguing with somebody and Rabbi Yossi is arguing with somebody. Rebbe and Rabbi Yossi agree with each other, and that's our Mishnah. So our Mishnah and Rebbe Yossi, they're all the same. So our Mishnah could be either Rebbe or Rabbi Yossi. But the Gemara is going to point out that one who argues on Rebbe and the one who argues on Rabbi Yossi, they can't be our Mishnah. Altogether, there are going to be three opinions. Our Mishnah, which is the opinion of Rebbe and Rabbi Yossi. There's also going to be a Tanakama of Rebbe, which we're not going to hold like, and also a Tanakama of Rabbi Yossi that we're not going to hold like. It means at least our Mishnah doesn't hold like. We'll see.
The word E, what does it mean?
The word E means either. Rebbe, Rabbi Yossi. Our Mishnah could either be either Rebbe or Rabbi Yossi, and the Gemara is going to explain. We'll see as far as the halacha goes. My Rebbe, what do we mean to say that our Mishnah could be Rebbe? So it brings down a brisa about Rebbe and it's Tanakama. And the issue is going to, and we're going to say Rebbe's fine. Rebbe's going to be like our Mishnah, but there is going to be a differing opinion. The Tanya, we learned in the brisa, Chol Yos B'Erev Shabbos. That's the case we're focused on. If the 14th came out on Erev Shabbos, so here already we see that it's not so simple. Here it says not only the villages go on Thursday, but the big cities also go on Thursday, which is very interesting. They have no problem. The 14th came out on Erev Shabbos. What's the problem? They can read on the right day. It says no. What does Covered Shabbos have?
Preparation for
No, there's no such thing that you can't read Erev Shabbos. It's just on Shabbos you can't read because you might carry. There's no dinner not to have the 14th on Erev Shabbos that you can't read.
Which is not the way we don't have this.
But here the Mishnah says, that's what it says. Here the Mishnah says that the big cities also go back to Thursday. The walled cities, they can't read on the 15th, which comes out on them. 15 comes out on Shabbos, they read on the 14th. So that's against our Mishnah. Rebbe is going to be like our Mishnah. That the unwalled cities, the big cities, that they're supposed to be on the 14th, they shouldn't be pushed off their place. They read on the 14th on Friday. Both of them, both the walled cities and the unwalled cities, both of them read on Friday. Like our Mishnah. So our Mishnah could be Rebbe. But we came now with a new opinion of the Tanakhama that says that the big cities, they get pushed off to Thursday also. First pushed back to Thursday. My time in the Tanakhama. Where's Tanakhama get this from? That the big city should go back to Thursday. The answer is the pasuk has some mashmos b'chol shana v'shana that seems that all the years should be the same. It should be the pasuk that says b'chol shana v'shana sounds like try to make all the years, every year should be the same. Makol shana v'shana Yahweh's called Muslim mukafin. Afghana Yahweh's called Muslim mukafin. This b'chol shana v'shana caused Tanakhama to want that it shouldn't be that the walled cities and the unwalled cities, the mukafos and the ayaros, that they should read on the same day. It means our Tana holds that the walled cities can't read on Shabbos, so they read on Friday. It comes out that that they're all reading the same day, and that's not b'chol shana v'shana. It's not same as all. It's not the same as all the years. All the years, the unwalled cities read the day before, and here it's going to come out that the unwalled cities read the same day as the walled cities. That was bothering the Tanakhama. Just like all the years, they're not the same day. They're always Kodmos. So too, Ayaros Kodmos Lumukafin. So therefore, he pushed just like the walled cities had to go back to Friday. So the unwalled cities go back from Friday to Thursday. Tomorrow's the Kasha, it's still not going to be similar to all the years. It's still not being mamash standard like all the years, because all the years the big cities have it on the 14th. Now that's their place. And now you're pushing them off their plate, the regular place of the 14th. It's not the same. It's not standard. But the Gemara says, I have to, you're right, I can't be mamash like every year, but this similarity, I want to hold on to this similarity more, that it's not the same day as the walled cities. That's more important to him. He doesn't explain why. I don't know why, but he says that that's the consideration. There's a consideration over here that it shouldn't be the same day. It should be similar to all years. Rebbe is the one like our Mishnah. Rebbe was like our Mishnah that both of them read on Friday. Rebbe my time, what's his reason? He also is going to say B'chol Shana V'Shana. Yes, he's also concerned that they should be similar, like the Gemara just explained, that B'chol Shana V'Shana is always on the 14th, so I don't want to push it off. Just like every year, the standard is that the big cities, they read on their place, which means the 14th. I want it to be similar to all the other years that they read on the right day, on the 14th. The Gemara Kasha, but it's not similar to all years in the fact that it's the same day as the walled cities. Why are you not comparing it to all years that it has to precede the mukafin, the walled cities, and now that the walled cities have to read on Friday, so make them read the day before? He also says the same thing. Yeah, I'd like, if it's possible, in theory, I'd like that it should be similar in every way, but you can't do it because you have to push back the walled cities because of Shabbos, not back to Friday. So what do you do now? So we have the two opinions. Everybody says b'chol shana v'shana. There are two considerations. Which one overrides the other? And that's the machlokes. And our Mishnah is like Rebbe that they both read on Friday. Now the Gemara brings the other price.
Yeah, no problem with it being on the same day.
Right. That's what our Mishnah holds, that you do it the same day. We would have liked that it shouldn't be the same day, but what could you do? It came out on Shabbos. You have to do something.
This is the famous Shapura Mashulash. This is Purim HaMashulash. That you that is on Friday.
Right.
So on Shabbos we have to we read on Friday.
On Friday.
We do the Suda and we do the mitzvah.
Okay, we didn't talk about the Suda yet. We'll come to that soon. We didn't talk about the Suda.
Right.
We're just talking about the Megillah. So here it says that when it comes out to 15th on Shabbos, so then we also on the 14th. And they also read on the 14th. There's no Yom HaKisha nowadays, so there's no. The Gemara brings also Rabbi Yossi also fits with our Mishnah. That was the Gemara started off. It could be either Rabbi or Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yossi is going to say the same thing as our Mishnah, but here the Gemara is going to also have a Tanakama of Rabbi Yossi, who's also going to be different and not even the same as Tanakama before. There's going to be a third opinion. First wide line, the Tanya, Chol Yos Shabbos, same case we're talking about. This is our case. Chol Yos Be'erev Shabbos, that the 14th came out on a Friday. Mukafin That's like a real finish. That the walled cities, they read together with the villages on Thursday. That they jump back 2 days. They're supposed to be on Shabbos, but they can't be on Shabbos. So they go back to Thursday together with Forum.
The whole Am Yisrael reads on Thursday.
No, it doesn't. The big walled cities, they stay the same. They stay put. They're on the 15th on a Friday. But the ones of the walled cities, to be on the 15th, they go back to Thursday.
How can that be? I mean, they grading says code.
So they're going even before. They're going that's what the Gemara is going to bring in this point. That's a consideration that Tanakama didn't care about.
Downgrade. They're downgrading to even before the big city.
Is that called downgrading? I cannot understand that's the word. The Gemara is going to find out a word for it. But that's it. It's a mapecha. It's not that usually they're later. Now they're going to be a day earlier.
Yeah.
If Yossi, we're familiar with it. If Yossi is going to be the same as our Mishnah. If Yossi, no such thing that the walled cities are going to be before the unwalled cities. Both of them read on Friday. So he's also good with our Mishnah that they both of them read on Friday.
We're talking about when the 14th is what day?
Friday. And the 15th came out on Shabbos. So the 15th, they're the people who have the problem. So our Mishnah, Rebbe of Yossi, everybody said that they read on Friday together with the big cities. But Rebbe's Tanakama said that they read on Friday, but the big cities, the unwalled cities, they read on Thursday. And this price, Tanakama of Yossi, he says that the big cities stay the same on Friday, but the walled cities that's supposed to read on Shabbos, they go back to Thursday, together with the Kfarim, with the villages. If Yossi Omer, if Yossi is similar to our Mishnah, we know him already. They don't proceed, not going to read the day before the big cities, but rather they read on Friday together with the big cities. My time the Tanakam. What's Tanakam that he reads? They read the go 2 days earlier. Also, he that it should be similar for uniform with the regulars. What's that? That we leave the all cities go back to Thursday.
Right.
And the unwalled cities, they stay on Friday.
Okay, what's his reason?
So because two factors. One is that they want the big cities, unwalled cities, to be on the 14th, and also they shouldn't be the same day. That you don't have them reading on the same day. So those are the considerations that he wants. Those are the ingredients that he wants. So in order to do that, he says that we want the unwalled to be the 14th. Walled cities, and therefore we leave the big cities on the 14th, on Friday, and the walled cities that have a problem, they can read it on Shabbos, so we'll bring them back to Thursday. So we have all of these two ingredients, that is, the big cities stay on the 14th, and they don't read it on the same day. The more is the question, but it's not a uniform mamish to other years. They have such a thing that walled cities read before the unwalled cities. Why don't you consider that a similarity to other years that you want to keep it uniform? You can't. The answer is you can't. I'd like to do that, but you can't because it came out on Shabbos, and I can't make. That's why Dan Kama said better to move back the walled cities. That's the kasha my time of Rabbi Yossi. The same time, not a kasha, but according to this drasha of B'chol Shana V'Shana, what's Rabbi Yossi going to do? Which is back to our Mishnah again. First wide line. This is his explanation. He doesn't want to bear this difference, that it should be different than that the Mukafin don't precede the walled cities, don't precede the unwalled cities. So therefore, we didn't do such a thing to make that back on Thursday. They leave it together on Friday. But the kasha is ve'ema b'chol shana v'shana kol shana v'shana zmana shel lo zmana shel zeh afkan zmana shel zeh shel zeh. The other consideration is that you're not leaving it uniform to other years. The fact that they're both reading on the same day. Usually, you don't have the same day.
Why wouldn't everybody one back? Why doesn't that work? Mukafim to Friday and the Iris goes to Thursday. What's wrong with that? Because then you have you accomplish that as well. I mean, in my mind, is that
why is that not a possibility? This time, and you have this consideration. Why not move everybody back one? So it'll be.
You keep the order.
What did he say? My time. Rabbi Yossi. What more say? Yoras Bar Ba'asa. He had this Yoras Bar Ba'asa. Shouldn't be the same day, and the Yoras should be on the 14th.
Yeah, he's giving priority to the 14th for the Aris Gedolos. Why?
So that everybody's saying, I don't understand any of these reasons. I'm saying that this is the fact that's most important. So you're saying that if you wouldn't say that, if you say a different fact, but he says this fact is important, that it should be similar to all years, that it's important. That's more important to him than the other similarities. Okay, I hear. That's more important. That it should be Yaros, and then that's more or less what the Gemara says about being in the opposite order. You're saying move both of them back. He wants that Yaros should be on the 14th. Okay, so that was everybody said their opinion. We have already here 3 opinions. That's how it leaves. That we have 3 opinions. Our Mishnah, Rebbe, and Abilsi are all the same. Then one opinion that said that Yaros go back, but that's what that's the Bryce that said. You ask why does it say like that? To move everybody back. That the Yaros back to Thursday and. On the Friday, which is what he says, he doesn't know that. He also has to be on the 14th. And then with this price, it said that the Yaros stay in the same place and walled city go back to Thursday. Third white line, V'Sava Rebbe. Now this question, the Gemara is asking, the way we have the gears in the Mishnah is, the Gemara could have asked on our Mishnah also already, not the Afghan Rebbe. It happens to be Rebbe, like our Mishnah. And they ask it that maybe the Gemara should have asked not on Rebbe, should have asked on our Mishnah. We'll see right away what the kasha is. But the other gears also in the Mishnah answer this kasha. But let's read the Gemara as it says. Third wide line, V'Sava Rebbe Ayo slow the China and the Yom HaKnisa. Rebbe, our Mishnah, same holds you don't push back the big cities to the day before, to Thursday, means what happened? Rebbe said it's very important that Yaros on the 14th. What did he say?
That's my question, right?
Rebbe is our Mishnah. Our Mishnah says that you leave the Ayaros on the 14th and also the walled cities. The walled cities and the unwalled cities, everybody reads on Friday. The 14th came out on Friday. So the ones who are the problematic ones are the 15th people, the walled cities. And it says they read on Friday, but they don't go back to Thursday. And the more was focusing on those who say that, our Mishnah, Rebbe, not like that. But Tanya, the Bryce is going to say, and it's going to be Rebbe is going to talk, and also our Mishnah will be the same thing. Choliyos b'Shabbos. Different than we spoke about till now. Choliyos b'Shabbos. What if
you're done?
The 14th comes on Shabbos, which doesn't happen nowadays. But what if the 14th would come on Shabbos? So the walled cities, they have no problem. They read on Sunday, that's okay. But what do the unwalled cities do? They can't read on Shabbos. Kfarim makdim the Yom HaKnisa. Vayoros gedolos koren be'erev Shabbos. Tanakama says that, of course, the Kfarim, no question, they go back to Thursday. They always go back to Thursday before. They'll go to Thursday. Here it says that Yoros Gedolos read on Erev Shabbos. They go one day before.
Right, because they need the haknasa of the suppliers. Which
no. Nothing. They don't have anything to do with the suppliers. That was the Gemara's Havamina before. Nothing to do with their suppliers. That's nothing to do. the ones who come up on Thursday, they come on Thursday. So the Kfarim, they go to Thursday. But the big cities, they always read on Shabbos. They were supposed to read on the 14th. They came out on Shabbos. So it says they go back to Erev Shabbos. That's not like our mission. Rabbi Yomer, since anyway they can't do it on the right day, they can't do it on their day, which is Shabbos. To do it, don't do it on Friday, do it on Thursday already. Do it all together. That's the same as our Mishnah, by the way. But what is the Gemara asking? The Rebbe or our Mishnah, could they point the finger at our Mishnah also? How come when it comes out on Friday, you leave them on the right day, and when it comes out on Shabbos, you do push them back? When the 14th comes out on Shabbos, you don't say read on Friday. You say go back already to Thursday. So when it comes out to 14th on Friday, also, and you have to push back the walled city to Friday. So is it impossible to push back the big cities to Thursday? You yourself hold that sometimes you push back the walled cities to Thursday also. The answer is obvious. What's the comparison? Over there, they can't read on the right day. The right day is Shabbos. They can't do it on the right day, so we're pushing them off anyway. So they're pushing back already to Thursday. But over here, that it came out on the 40th on a Friday, you're not going to say pushing back to Thursday. And the whole Kash and test could have also been according to our Mishnah, the way our guess in the Mishnah is, because our Mishnah says the same thing. Our Mishnah says by Shabbos that you go back to read it on Thursday. That's what the Mishnah says. The Gemara says, the Mishnah says on Beis Amud Aleph, if it came out on Shabbos, that's what it says, that big cities also read back on Thursday. So the Gemara could have asked the same question on our Mishnah, but it shows Rebbe. And I didn't do Kaman Azla yet.
We didn't do that. So you just said that.
First one on the line is Hashta. Period. That's the end of the Gemara. So over there, what do we have? That when it comes out 14th on Erev Shabbos, our Mishnah, Rabbi Yossi, they all say that you leave the big cities in their place, which is the 14th, and walled cities, which have to read on Shabbos, they can't say I also read on the 14th. And we had two other opinions. One says that you push back the Yosh Gedolos also to Thursday, and the other opinion was that you take the wall cities and push them back to Thursday, and it's out of order, they're going to go before. And the Gemara said the reason of each one, our Mishnah holds like Rabbi and Yossi, and even though sometimes you do push back the wall cities to a Thursday, if it came out on the 14th on Shabbos, but that's only because they can't do it on the right day anyway, so you push it back. Instead of one day, push them back 2 days. But if it comes out to 14th on Erev Shabbos, and they can understand their own place, so they stand their own place, and they're going to be the same day as the walled cities.
Which is our halacha.
Which is the halacha. Well, I have written down something over here. One moment for a second, please. What did I write down as far as the halacha?
We should read on the same day. And
I don't remember.
There's a case that you're right that when 15th falls on Shabbos, it is true that that's we do like our Mishnah, Rebbe and Yossi, that we read on the 14th together with the big cities. But as far as if the 14th would come on Shabbos, which doesn't happen nowadays, it doesn't happen nowadays. So over there, the Rambam happens to paskin like against our Mishnah that when the 14th comes on Shabbos, they read on Erev Shabbos. Not like our Mishnah says that they go back to the Yom HaKnisa.
who's
But
that?
it doesn't happen nowadays. We just spoke about that now. If the 14th comes out on Shabbos, so our Mishnah and Rebbe said that you go back 2 days. It doesn't happen in the calendar nowadays.
Right,
But if it would come out, so our Mishnah says you go back to Thursday.
Even the
And the
Shanitzah,
Right. And the Tanakhama of Rebbe said that you read on that you leave that on Friday. So that the Rambam paskins like that. You read on Erev Shabbos. But again, it doesn't happen nowadays. The Gemara continues.
We read on the 15th.
What is that?
We read definitely on the Sunday on the Yom Rishon.
In which case?
When it's 14th is Shabbos.
Oh, yeah.
We read tomorrow.
When the 14th is Shabbos, it doesn't happen.
We the Mokafim.
No, but the question is the 14th people. It doesn't happen.
Right.
The case doesn't happen. The calendar doesn't allow that the 14th should come on Shabbos. So it doesn't come out for us the 15th on Sunday. It doesn't happen. The Gemara continues. Just at the end of the sugya, please, I will get up to it. We didn't talk about the Suda yet. We just spoke about the Megillah. We didn't speak about the Suda or anything else. We just spoke about the Kriyas Megillah. The Gemara continues. We're on the, what is this? 5th wide line. Kaman Azla.
Right.
Hadam Rabbi Chalba Omer Rab Huna. Purim Shechol Yos B'Shabbos. Kol Nidach Yom HaKnisa. So those are the words that he says. Somebody said in the name of Rab Huna, Rab Chalba name of Huna. Purim that came out on Shabbos. The 14th came out on Shabbos. Everyone goes back to Thursday. Is that true? Kol Nidach is not that. Could you take it literally everybody goes back to Thursday. Vayika mukafin.
This is an Amora?
Yes.
What, I mean, where's he coming from? We've just done a whole Eon in the Gemara. Oh, he's posking.
Yes. So he says that if the 14th comes out on Shabbos, everyone goes back to Thursday. The question is, everybody, if it came out on the 14th came out on Shabbos, so the 15th is Sunday, so they're not going to go back to Thursday. They read on Sunday. So it doesn't mean that. He means whoever's getting pushed, whoever can read it on Shabbos, everybody gets pushed back to Thursday. Come on, Rabbi. That's like Rabbi. Also happens to be our Mishnah. According to our gear says our Mishnah also. So that's interesting that the Gemara had to find that Rav Huna holds like Rabbi. So there is a lot pointing that the Gerson our Mishnah might be different, but let's read it the way it says it. That our Mishnah also says the same thing. Come on, Rebbe, like our Mishnah, that people are supposed to read on Shabbos, and the 14th they also go back to Thursday. They don't read it on Friday. Okay, now the Gemara comes to the meat of the whole sugya that everyone takes for granted you don't read on Shabbos. That's like it goes without saying. The Kul Yalma Mihas Megillah b'Shabbos lo kuri. What?
Kul Alma Miha.
Al Kapan Mihas, like Al Kapanim. In any case, everybody holds that you don't read the Megillah on Shabbos. And why not? That we didn't even talk about. That was like taking for granted in the Mishnah that you can read the Megillah on Shabbos. If whatever comes out, the 14th, the 15th, why not? My timer. So everybody knows, Amar Rabba, Akol Chayav Mekriyas Megillah, Ve'eyin Akol Chayav Bekiyim Mikro Megillah, Gezer Shami Yitlana B'yado, Ve'ele Chetzel Boki, Lomod Yavirena, Abraham Espeshis Abraham. Everyone's Chayav in Kriyas Megillah, even a layman, and not everybody knows how to read the Megillah. So the Gezer is somebody, maybe he'll take in his hand the Megillah, to go to learn how to read it, and he'll carry it. Abraham Espeshis Abraham might come to carry it. Because it might come to carry, so they stop the mitzvah of Megillah on Shabbos. Find the time of the shofar, find the time of the lulav. That's also going to be the reason Rabba's going to say this is Gzera de Rabba. It's mentioned in many places that's how he learns Pshat. How come the shofar, you don't blow the shofar on Shabbos, even though sometimes you do, some place if there's a bezdin, and on the time of the lulav, you don't take the lulav on the first day, you don't take the lulav on Shabbos, on Yant, even if it comes out, when it comes out on Shabbos. It happens to be the Mishnah say that if the first day of Sukkot comes out on Shabbos, then you do. I think more over there in the Sukkot talks about it, it's talking about in the Mikdash or Basmana Mikdash. Sometimes they did give permission, but whenever it says that you can't take the lulav on Shabbos, so you can't take the shofar on Shabbos, the reason is because someone might carry it by mistake. So both Megillah and shofar and lulav, he always says that that's the reason. We also had a Maseches Beitza, that that's also the reason why he says you can't be matbil kelim on the mikvah on Shabbos, also because you might carry an Mishra Rabbin.
The ain't shvut the Mikdash. So why can't you blow the shofar on Shabbos?
So we just said that over there. The Gemara says maybe if a mikdash you could, and even with Mana mikdash, that's the sugi in sukkah. Nowadays we don't because we're not being b'kfiyat de'archa. Now we don't know the Gemara goes that we don't know exactly for sure when the right date is. We're not sure. That's why they made sometimes machmer, sometimes mekel. But this is Rabba's reason always. Whenever they're matcha something from Shabbos, here our sugi is Megillah. The Gemara says so too shofar and lulav also. That was Rabba's reason. But the verse says a different reason. The verse has a different reason why I don't read the Megillah on Shabbos. The verse of Amar Mipnei She'eneim Shalanim, the source for Mikra Megillah, because the poor people, their eyes are looking forward towards the Mikra Megillah. They always know every year, association, when they read the Megillah, they also get Matanas Lavyonim. And here it's going to be Mikra Megillah on Shabbos, and it's not going to be together with Matanas Lavyonim. It's going to be a letdown for them. It's heartening. They read the Megillah without Matanas Lavyonim. So we didn't do that. We kept that it should always be associated. Mikra Megillah is always the happy time for the poor people. And therefore, on Shabbos, we couldn't do it. So we pushed off. We proceeded. We made the Megillah should be a different day, not to make Mikra Megillah on Shabbos. We also learned so in a brisa, like Rav Yosef, I guess. Afal pi sha'amru k'forim makdim in the Yom HaKnisa, govim lo b'yom u'mechalkin bo b'yom. We have to continue. Really, that's the end of the brisa comes up just to show that the end of the brisa is going to be these words at the bottom line. This is all part of the brisa, and that's really what the Gemara is saying. Tanya Namayachi. Tanya Namayachi is because the brisa is going to say that the reason that you are going to make the Megillah not on Shabbos, it's going to end up saying the reason is because we want the poor to associate together the fact that they get the good time, they get Matanas Lavyonim on together with the Rika Megillah. That's what the brisa is going to end off saying. But it takes time till the Gemara figures out the brisa to read straight. The brisa started. Even though the Kfarim read on the earlier Thursday or Monday, you collect and give out the Matanas Lavyonim on the day. So the Gemara has difficult has to finish their end of the brisa. The end of the brisa, what's highlighted over here is not talking about Shabbos. Maybe I made a mistake when I said that. Not that the brisa is talking about Shabbos. The brisa says that the days that the Kefarim they read not on the 14th, even though they read on an earlier day. Govim Bobiyom, Mechalkim Bobiyom, which the Gemara is saying that it means that you do Matanas Lavyonim on the day that you read the Megillah. The day they read the Megillah, you give Matanas Lavyonim.
They know that's
because Mipnei Shenem Shalim, so is Mikra Megillah. Since the poor people they look forward to Mikra Megillah to get money. So if you're going to read the Megillah earlier, because you're in a kfar, so also Matanas Lavyonim is also together with the Megillah. But the words of the Brisa don't make sense. The words of the Brisa say, even though they read on an earlier day, but you collect and give it out on that day, on the day of the Megillah, of the what that you're reading. So the words don't make sense. Afal pi, the Gemara interjects. Afal pi shamru, because even though they said, on the contrary, because they said, Adarabba mishum damruhu, you mean to say because they said that the Megillah has to proceed an earlier day to Yom HaKnisa, Monday and Thursday. So too you do the collection of the Matanas Lavyonim. So the Gemara changed it. Not Afal Pi, but Holva Mushak Magdima Makanisa, both Mobiyom and Mechalkim Bobiyom. Mipnei name Shalanim, the source from Mikra Megillah. That since they said that you read the Megillah on an earlier day, Monday and Thursday, so you also give Matanas Lavyonim on the same day, and the Brisa ends up because the poor people are looking forward towards Megillah to get Matanas Lavyonim. So once the Brisa says this Lagabe Kfarim, so we're going to apply it also to Shabbos. So Joseph doesn't have a Brisa Mamish like him that says that's the reason of Shabbos, but he does have the Brisa that says the association between Mikra Megillah and Matanas Lavyonim, that it says that the Kfarim who read earlier, they also do Matanas Lavyonim together with the Megillah, and therefore the Rav Yosef says that's also the reason why you don't read the Megillah on Shabbos. Since you can give Matanas Lavyonim on Shabbos, you put the Megillah on a day that you could give Matanas Lavyonim. And one more line, Aval.
And not Shabbos.
And not Shabbos. And yes?
There's no way to say you should give the Matanas Lavyonim before Megillah?
It says not, I guess not. That association, they want to keep that association.
But I'm a little bit lost here because when we went in on Monday, let's see, we went on Monday to the Arik Gedolot. He read there even though it's Makdim to Monday.
When you Makdim Yom HaKnisa, here it says you also give Matanas Lavyonim on that day.
Yes, but he's not in his town. He's in the
so he gives it. So the Aniyim also come along. The Aniyim also come along.
They're going to come along.
They don't have to read the Megillah.
Yeah, but they read it in the small in the villages.
No, to read the Megillah. If they read in the villages, they don't have to come to the big city to read the Megillah. They read the point is that they don't have a Balkoret. They don't have somebody to read. They have to read the Megillah in the big city. That was the whole point. In order to be lead, they don't have to come at special time. So they're coming in anyway, Mondays and Thursdays. So when you're coming in, so that's the time that you're gonna hear the Megillah over there. And the Gemara ends off, Avol, there's one more line on top of the next page. Avol, Simcha en Regisel of Bismana. What do these words mean? Simcha.
Part of the Bryce. The Bryce is over.
I think this is part of the Brisa still.
Okay.
I think it's part of the Brisa, and it says Simcha en Regisel of Bismana. Even though they're Makdim Yom HaKnisa, the villages. So they read the Megillah on the earlier Monday and Thursday, and also Matanas Lavyonim goes together with the Megillah. But Simcha, which would mean what? The Suda is only on its right time. That means that even if they're going to read the Megillah earlier, but the Suda's Purim is supposed to be on the right day, on the 14th.
They're going to be eating and drink. I'm sorry. They're going to be reading and also getting their Matanas Lavyonim early.
On the earlier Mondays and Thursday. But Simcha, the Suda's Purim is going to be on the right day, on the 14th. And this, now, that's what's talking about the villages, the small towns. Now, if we talk about when the 15th comes out on Shabbos, what would you say? That you read the Megillah earlier, because you can't read it on Shabbos. When are you supposed to do the Suda?
Oh, why not the 14th?
No reason on the 14th. It's not Purim. The Purim for them is supposed to be.
You would do the Suda on the 15th, but is it something about Arbim? But there's something.
The right day is 15th. It's not. Yeah, getting hacked up all the time again, please.
I thought that maybe
we didn't hear you, Lev Yaakov. If you could say it again.
I would think that maybe we would read on the 15th if it's on Shabbos, except that because of Shabbos, the cover of Shabbos, we don't want to diminish Shabbos, so we have to push it off.
Not following. You can't read the
What's the
Megillah on
push it
Shabbos.
off?
We just had two reasons why you can't read the Megillah on Shabbos.
You were asking about eating. Eating, we don't push, eating has to be Ela Bismana.
So eat on Shabbos. Make us do this poem on Shabbos. That's what it says.
Oh, okay. I thought you were asking, is that what you do?
The Chorah says here that he have to do this Purim on Shabbos, and that's against what we do. The famous Purim and Shulish when it comes out the 15th on Shabbos, so we do the Suda on Sunday, and that's a big question because it doesn't seem to say that. An our Gemara seems to say that the Simcha should be Bismana. It's not talking about Shabbos. It's talking about the form of Yom HaKnisa when they do it on the villages. But the Chorah, the Gemara says here the Suda is supposed to be Ela Bismana.
Are we worried about Chil Shabbos?
No, there's no Chil Shabbos making a Suda.
Yes, but he's drinking. He's not in a normal state.
No, I would think it has.
He's
No
going
problem.
wild.
There's no problem to drink. No problem to drink.
We're mixing Kavod Shabbos.
It's Shabbos.
You see, I'm coming to Shabbos.
When it comes out Yontif and Shabbos, you make a Suda Yontif together with
Yes,
Shabbos.
but
So why
not
can
the
you make a
same thing
Suda
as
Purim on
Purim.
Shabbos?
You don't have to
So-
be Yada Lo Yada.
We'll get to it. The Gemara here seems to say that the Suda is supposed to be on Shabbos, and there are such shittas. Mishnah brings down such shittas that the
Any
Suda is
Gedolim
Purim.
needs to do that?
Yeah, the Mishnah brings down that Suda is supposed to be on Shabbos. There are some, of course, there's a shita. We'll get the Rishalmi seems to say that you make it on Sunday, but it's not simple. In the Bavli, it seems to say that the Suda is on Shabbos. This is one of the places. There's going to be a Gemara later on, down deep in the Masechta. That's also going to be mashma that Suda is on Shabbos, and there's a question about it. So Mishnah Berurah says to be machmer both, to do also on Shabbos, also on Sunday.
Do
But
some
there's
Zecher on Shabbos, but do the
I don't know, Zecher, but it says that
actually-
there's one sheet. The Gemara seems to say that the Suda should be
Mean
on
on
Shabbos.
It's hard enough.
To be continued more, but that's what the Gemara seems to say. Yashikov, everybody, thank you. And again, sorry for going overtime. I'm not going to be able to do the halacha. I didn't have time to prepare that, so we'll do again Pirkei Avos if that's okay with everybody. And I'll be back in a few minutes. Yashikov, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you. Yaman, I'm sorry that we're coming in late. You're getting a few the tail end of the Daf Yomi. I'm not sure why it's going longer than usual. I don't think it's been harder than other Masechtas.
Many details, Ray. There's
I'm
many
not sure
details.
why it's getting expanded a little bit. We'll try to keep it into the hour.
It's no problem for me. I enjoy hearing whatever words of wisdom come out of your mouth, Rob. It's not really it's no problem. Do it. You got to finish it off. You got to finish it off for your chevra. So I have no problem. So
Okay. So we'll be back. Thank you. We'll be